Hi, everybody. I'm Tamara's owner.
And I'm John Davis.
Welcome to Spirit Cafe.
Come in, sit down, and
grab a cup of love.
A Spirituality Without the Guilt podcast. Hey, guys, it's me, John Davis, and I am here on Spirit Cafe once again. And I, of course, am here with my compatriot and compassion, the lovely and powerful Tamara Zoner. Hello, Tamara Zoner. How are you today?
Hello, John Davis. I am wonderful. How are you?
I am doing lovely. I'm just feeling clear-headed and just everything is great right now. Very excited. Thanks for asking. So this has been an interesting guest we're getting today. We were working towards doing a Tamara John episode, and it was like at the last minute, let's go bring on a guest. So it's going to be kind of an interesting experience, I think.
Well, I had it sort of planned, but our guest, we'll introduce in a moment, had not connected email address wise yet. So last minute this morning was like, okay, I'm here. I'm ready to go. Okay, let's do this thing. John and I love to fly by the seat of our pants. So this
absolutely
all works well for us.
It's going to be a great show just because of that, because of the fact that it's so spontaneous. I love it. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about our guests?
All right. Very little bit that I know, as usual. Our guest calls himself Neo Positivity, and that's really all that I needed to know. So
that makes sense coming from you.
Right? I did read his bio, but it's been a little while. And so, but the energy from his website and the energy from his bio and the energy from his picture and his smile are enough to tell me that he's the right kind of guy for this show. So,
all right. Well, there you go.
Why don't we bring him on and let him tell us all about him?
There you go.
Hello everyone. My name is Neo from neopositivity.com. And thank you guys for the warm welcome. And thanks for having me on the show. Sorry about the miscommunication as far as pod match, but we're here. I woke up ready to go, ready to rock and roll.
It happens, in the world, stuff happens. We usually use a different word for stuff, but in this world,
today.
But you'll find very quickly that Tamara and I are very easy to get along with. We don't sweat the small stuff because it is just small stuff. So,
I love it. That's perfect.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and just let us get into your story of how you got there.
Well, I used to be a police officer in Camden City, New Jersey. At the time, it was the most dangerous city in America. And my old partner told me about this movie that they make all the CIA agents watch in the academy. And of course, I'm like, I gotta see this movie. And the movie was called The Secret. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Yeah, by the shaking of your head, you've both seen it.
Yeah.
I was obsessed immediately. I wanted to know everyone who was using it. Oprah, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. They were all like accrediting all of their success to this whole law of attraction thing. And so I just noticed that every successful person that I was, pulling information from on how they do things was, like I said, accrediting all their success to it. So I got deep. I got real obsessed with it. And long story short, ended up retiring 8 months later. That was in November 2008. Ever since then, I've just been touring the country, teaching people how I use the law of attraction in hopes that they can implement it into their lives and, pull some of the same results that I have. And ever since then, it's just been like a shooting gallery. You point, use your methods, and you get it. Just point and shoot. Just aim at stuff. And
shooting gallery coming from a cop. That's great. Thanks.
Yes. I was always a good shot.
Are you from New Jersey?
Yes. I was born in Camden and I lived in Jersey all the way my whole life, 38 years up until 2 years ago. I moved to Tampa.
Yeah, I'm actually from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, so I'm over there close near you where Jersey is. So it's all good.
Close, Rehoboth. Yeah.
A law of attraction. Yeah, it's one of the big topics that all the metaphysical folks talk about all the time, and I'm so fascinated by not only the law of attraction but its ancient origins, because, if you look at what Buddha says, what you think you become, you create your world. Krishna said, you are the culmination of your thought. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Shakespeare said, there's nothing good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. So it's that intention and that thought creating into the experience. And recently, noetic science has been proving that our thoughts are creative in a very unique way. They're actually being able to measure thought waves. And I don't know if you've looked into noetic science at all. It's really very fascinating. But yeah, so tell us some of your stories about how the law of attraction has helped you in your life.
Well, obviously, I told you I retired.
Mm.
Shortly after that, I was just like, I want to take on everything. Like, if I can do this, I can do anything. So immediately went for custody of my kids. Got that. That was crazy. No lawyer. Just went in there with the law of attraction and a handful of confidence, and a bat belt full of different mental exercises, affirmations and meditations and stuff like that. And ended up getting that. Slid into some DMs, got myself a Super Bowl ring. My pilot's license, moved to Florida, like I said, and it's just insane. I got a 4-year-old now. I'm like daddy daycare. Every day it's me. And I'm wielding him into this little perfect law of attraction wielding machine. And that's been a great adventure in itself. You learn, it's hard. I won't say it's hard, but it was difficult trying to teach, trying to talk about thoughts to a child that doesn't know what a thought is.
Right.
Trying to show him how to think, right? So you have to lead by example all day.
Absolutely.
That is the only thing you could do to get your points across, is to be that visual aid. And so he's been my accountability partner as far as keeping me on task with being the man that I want to be, showing up the way I want to show up to every situation. So I gotta thank him for that when we're done. Because I brought that up before, but I never went that deep into it. But yeah, that's my baby boy. He's my joy. I got 2 older ones. My another son at 17 and my daughter's 20. So there's a little gap.
But they are great teachers. They are incredible teachers. And I always say parenting is show, not tell, because if we're not showing them what living what I call a life we love looks like, then they'll never know. And they pick up, they're like little sponges. Your little one is just a sponge right now. Basically, his brain's in a meditative state for another few years, and he's just going to soak in everything he sees. And it's so vital that we instill this different way of living from the norm. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I love
soak in everything, because it made me think of the universe. It's like, all right, you're putting out thoughts and energy, and my son Amor is soaking it in. The same thing with the universe. You're constantly putting out thoughts and energy, and it's soaking it in, ready to throw it right back at you.
Saying yes to you no matter what you're thinking, right?
I like that. I like that. You just made my next video for Facebook.
Tamara's good for that stuff.
It is. I love it. You just missed the summit. I had my summit. I throw a law of attraction summit now because over the past 14 years since I retired, that's literally all I did was interview. I don't want to say, a lot of them were life coaches. So I'll say interview life coaches and law of attraction enthusiasts and get their tips and secrets on how they use it. Because that was my thing. I can't think of all this stuff by myself. I want to get it from other people and not just books. So I just started interviewing people. And I've probably interviewed over 1,000 people so far over the last 14 years. But a year ago, I decided, instead of interviewing one person at a time, and because me and you could sit here and chop up and hit ideas back and forth. I call it like a lovely tennis match, just hitting ideas back and forth. But every now and then, it's like the balls collide and birth a new idea that we neither one of us thought of. And then we're like, oh, I'm going to try this. And then we try it and get that new car or that next check.
Yeah.
Or feeling great or healthy. And so I was like, if I'm going to do that one at a time, I might as well, get a bunch of coaches together, bunch of people all shooting ideas and then birthing new ideas. So that was where Neo-Positivity Thoughts Become Things Summit was born. I think yesterday was the 12th or 13th summit. We did it almost every month last year. And we did it January and February this year. It was last week in February 19th. And the next one is going to be in April. So yes, that was the whole idea behind that. Get a bunch of people together, shooting ideas off of each other. We take questions from the audience. We're doing lightning rounds. All right, 60 seconds, go. What's your answer to this? Sean from Pittsburgh wants to know this. What's your answers to that? And it's just a great atmosphere, great energy. You leave just rejuvenated and ready to take on the world. Can't even sleep that night type
What's the best or most impactful thing anyone has ever said on one of your summits? Like what just made you drop your jaw and say, wow?
Oh man. It's been so many. I think the answer to that would have to be book titles. I didn't even know about the Science to Getting Rich until January of this year.
Oh wow.
I literally didn't know about it. And Untethered Soul, that was a big one. Debbie G suggested that in September, and that book was a game changer. So
have you gotten into the Neville teachings yet?
Just YouTube things. I haven't really gotten into any books.
Yeah. His stuff's amazing. And his stuff is like spot on law of attraction. I mean, it's like the core element of law of attraction is the Neville stuff. So you'll find that fascinating.
I love it. I don't know how deep you guys are into it, but the people who write those books, like Neville Goddard, they get meditative and they get their answers from up here. Mm-hmm. And you could tell the difference between the people who write books and they got their information from a whole bunch of other books. Mm-hmm. They make really good books, but you can tell from the people who got it from up here. And that's one of the things I noticed immediately. So I get most of my information from up here. Mm-hmm. That's why I never even heard of the Science to Getting Rich until this year, because I'm not going to go out and look at books. I'm a slow reader, so that's going to take forever anyway. And I don't really drive that much. So audiobooks, are few far in between. But like I said, I found that you get the better information when you're just still and you ask questions or you just listen. And so because that's been the basis of how I've gotten my information, I find that most of the books that I do hear and read, it's stuff I've already stumbled upon. Like most of the Science of Getting Rich, the first 13 chapters, basically to me, he said thoughts become things over and over again. Yeah. Like 90,000 times. And then chapter 11 was like, oh, he's talking about new stuff. Grab the pen and paper. The same thing with The Power, which is like the secret part 2. I think the first 9 chapters, were basically the same thing. And then after that, it just lit up. It just lit up. And she started hitting you with some really great information. So that's another thing that's discouraged me from, getting into all the books. But that's a huge thing. Getting present.
Oh yeah. And the toughest part about the law of attraction is that most people don't realize that they are attracting subconsciously rather than consciously. Yeah. They're living 85 to 90% of their day in their subconscious mind, and their subconscious mind are filled with these beliefs that are attracting crap. And you've got to get very present and get very active in cleaning out that subconscious belief to create something different. Tamara and I have both used the principles in our own lives in big ways. I know that Tamara got herself out of some pretty interesting situations, and I got myself out of a bed when my spine was split in two. I actually worked my way back and became a stuntman, and just by choosing my thought, choosing my belief, and actively choosing not to take someone else's belief, because the doctor told me I wouldn't walk again. And I said, I'm not taking his belief, because if I take his belief, I'm living his life and not my own. And so I kept my focus on I am being a stuntman. So that, to me, that's the attraction of it, is that we choose what to believe, and then we have to put our belief behind it. And it's the key, to me, the key element is the belief. And the hardest part of the law of attraction that I find most people struggle with is believing it, because they get to the point where, say, for instance, and this is something I talk about on videos of my own. If I'm a 900-pound man and I can't see my shoes, I can't attract that I am a thin man already. I've got to attract it in increments. So I've got to say, I am receiving a healthy body. I am eating better. I am, and the I am is the big key for me. But But it has to come in that increment way, because he can believe that it's coming in, but he can't believe it's instantaneously. One of the things they said in The Secret is act as if you already have it. And I disagree with that in some form, because I think that, I'm sure there's some people in the world who have great faith and it can magically appear really quickly. But I think it really is a process of which that belief grows, because trust is developed by results over time. And as the results grow, your faith grows. And when your faith grows, of course, your manifestation, gets closer.
That's the master form. If you can believe it, if that 900-pound man could 100% wholeheartedly believe that he was, I believe that he could.
I do
Now,
too. I agree with you.
That just, and I know a skeptic might hear that and be like, okay, well, if I really, really, truly believed that I could fly, then I would. And I would tell that person, you would. That's the nature of the beast. But it's been proven to us our whole lives that we can't fly. It's going to be hard to get over that. That's the big thing about abundance. Since birth, we've been taught limits. You can only reach so far. You can only scream so loud. Right now, I'm being taught a limit. I can only reach so far. I can only control so much. And our parents strengthen that with financial limitations and what you can do as far as moral code and getting in trouble and stuff like that. So our whole lives we're being taught 24/7. And when people try to imagine abundance, they wonder why they can't. It's the total opposite of anything we've ever seen. So if you can wrap your head around it, yes. I always tell somebody, if you want to get something that's completely impossible, first of all, you have to create space for it, which means just allow yourself to entertain the fact that it is possible. But there's like a chain of events that I kind of go through. If it start to finish, if I don't believe it, I say it out loud. And when I say it, my brain comes up with one or two ways that it could happen. A rich uncle that you never met could die and gives you the money for it. That's usually the first one. And then, but once you say it more and more again, like in an affirmation type setting, your brain will start to throw you better ways of how it could come to light, how it could come into your life. And then you start to kind of entertain it as possible. More saying it, more feeling it. Now you start to believe in it. And this is what you were talking about before. Once you believe in something, that belief turns into more and more confidence. And once you're confident in it, that's what you expect. And what you truly expect is what you're going to get deep down inside. Now, this is what you truly expect in your subconscious that you can't directly access. So, it's the guy who starts a small business and he's walking around telling his family that he's confident. He's displaying confidence. He's smiling, but in the back of his mind, he's thinking that 90% of small businesses fail. Opening day wasn't anything like I thought it was. I'm kind of almost in the red already. Those type of things weighing on his mind all day long in that, because most of our thoughts are on autopilot anyway. 60, 70,000 thoughts on average per day per person. Most of them are on autopilot. So these are just running in the background while he's trying to grow his business and feed his family. And that's stress. Those are stressors that no one sees, and those produce the results. And that's why people don't like the law of attraction. They only believe in it for the good stuff that happens.
Right.
When I was dealing with clients for a short period, when I first moved to Tampa, I joined a BNI chapter, and they were like, you got to take on clients. You got to da. But that's what everybody would do. They would say, I didn't manifest my grandma dying. I didn't manifest that car accident. And I'm like, that's not how it works. And I'm kind of here to say, yeah, you did in a way. Collective energy is coming from all. You're not the only person manifesting things. Everyone else is manifesting certain, contributing their, I call it energy dollars. For every moment you're alive, I say you're given one energy dollar to spend on whatever you want. Spend it on drama, pain, success, love, and whatever you spend it on is coming to your doorstep like a package from Amazon. So you just got to be careful. Got to be careful where you're spending these energy dollars, where you're spending all of your time. Right. And that's why I got obsessed with it. If I know that every second I'm alive, I'm either making my future better or worse, then every second needs to involve this type of mentality.
Right.
Every second. I can't let any slip, not for my kids, not for myself. Why would I? But it's easier said than done. You got to come up with ways to remember. I got 40 different alarms that go off on my phone. I got a tattoo. I got stuff hanging up on the walls everywhere. $1 million bills laying around hang up, my bathroom, there's $1 million bill in the mirror. And it's those things that are my wake ups. Those are my reminders to do these mental exercises, because you got to do them all day. You get out of things what you put into it. You go to the gym and do 10 curls on your right arm and walk out. How much healthier are you going to be? Not much. And you can't do the yes affirmation, just say yes 10 times and expect to be a millionaire by Tuesday. That's just not how it works. You get out of things what you put into it. So I suggest you put more into it. If you go to the gym and do 2 hours, then you could do 2 hours in this gym, because this one's more important.
Nice. Yeah, it's a daily practice. It's not, you just don't go into the gym 2 hours a week, 1 day a week, and think that you're going to get strong and healthy. It's a daily practice, and it's a daily mental practice of becoming aware of your thoughts, digging up the roots from that past programming and replacing it, like choosing, deciding. I often will write, I decide. So face your fears, but then decide new beliefs and adopt those and practice those.
I like that. I decide. I just wrote that down. I'm always writing stuff down. I know I'm gonna pull so much from you guys. I can already tell.
I like the fact that you brought up Amazon, because when I'm teaching someone these principles, I always use Amazon as an example. And the reason I use Amazon as an example is I say, when I am manifesting something, I ask for it once, I declare it, and then I let that declaration live, and then I just believe it. Right. And I said, the way I think of it is like I ordered it from Amazon. Now I order it on Amazon, and the next day I don't call and say, is it coming? No, I just know it's coming. I just know it's going to show up on my doorstep. So I don't call them up, and I don't send them emails. I don't bother them until it gets there. I literally just, I order it and I know it's coming. And that's the key. You have to know that it's coming, and it's funny. I gave myself permission many, many years ago to forget about the how altogether. Yes. and to just give myself permission to think how fun it will be to see how it did happen. And then so it's like a game now. I'm like, oh, I wonder how this is going to happen. And sometimes it's interesting. Years ago, I was doing I was scheduled to do a speech at one of the Edgar Casey foundations, and I had my front tooth had a chip in it, and I was like, I gotta get my tooth fixed. And I was like, okay, I am, getting my tooth fixed. Perfect. Thank you, God, for the perfect tooth I am receiving. Amen. That's how I manifest. And about an hour later, I ordered a submarine sandwich, and I bit into the sandwich, and that tooth broke entirely off. Off. And at that moment, I started laughing. I was like, oh, cool. I wonder where this is taking me. Because I knew that if something happened to my tooth after I just declared it, it was in motion. Something was happening. Yeah. Well, to make a long story short, about a couple hours later, I got a call from a woman I used to work with at the Florida Renaissance Festival in Fort Lauderdale. And she was the entertainment director. And I had been her assistant. And she says, what's going on? And I said, well, my tooth just broke off. Right. It's really, she said, well, I'm president of an organization called Rescue. I said, what's Rescue? It's an organization for Renaissance Festival performers and entertainers to help them get medical and dental help. And so, to make this story really short, is I got an estimate on what that tooth and another tooth needed to be fixed. And a couple of days later, she overdated me a check for the entire bill. And so I had the money come in, but it was that moment of the tooth breaking that was like, I could have chosen at that point to stop the manifestation and say, well, that didn't work. Or by saying, oh, I wonder where this is leading me. And now, still to this day, when I'm manifesting something and something that comes up that seems completely contrary, I simply call it a broken tooth moment.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Well, and that's my, mantra is everything happens for me. Everything happens for me, no matter what is going on. It's all happening for me. And so I get to wonder, I wonder how this is going to be for me, but the how of the action is none of my business, right? So in my world with the law of attraction, it's called intention, right? I set my intention, that's my Amazon order. If I don't actually make the order, it's not going to magically come to me. So I do have to get on my app and order the thing, right? Maybe that's prayer, maybe that's meditation. And then I take consistent, imperfect action toward the thing, and the how shows up through that, right? So, but I have to keep cleaning up. I have to take the action, clean up any beliefs that are like opposing it so that it can come together with alignment.
I didn't know I was dealing with two professionals here. Management had me thinking I was going to be up here teaching some rookies. I didn't know I was up here.
This ain't our first rodeo, young man.
Jeez, manifesting, law of attraction wielding. I didn't know that.
You want to hear a funny manifestation story?
Of course.
So I was short on rent one month. And like I say, the way I manifest, I use it in prayer, and I use it in a very specific present moment prayer. Thanking for the present moment. I am God's name, according to Moses. So whatever you're asking, God's name is granted. So I am is also a present moment. And then amen means so be it, means present moment. So I said, thank you, God, for the unexpected income I am receiving. Amen. Right. And and I walked out my front door, and on the sidewalk was an envelope. Not in the mailbox, and it was in the sidewalk. And I walked out and I picked it up, and I turned it over, and it was addressed to me. And I opened it up, and there was a $400 check inside of it. And I was like, and I started reading it, and it was from the clinic where I got my vasectomy. And they said, little note said, we overcharged you for your vasectomy. Here's your refund. Now, I paid cash for my vasectomy. I paid $600 for it. I don't know anywhere in the country you can get a $200 vasectomy. Number one.
Yeah.
Right. And so I real quick went to the bank and deposited that check. But then I started having a little fear. I was, God, I hope they don't repossess. That's the only thing I was worried about. I'm joking.
That's great. Yeah. Come back looking for their equipment. Yeah.
My equipment. Exactly.
Maybe in Mexico you can get one done for $200. I wouldn't suggest it.
No. But yeah, so I mean, to me that story is an interesting one, because it literally was. I have a very, and Tamara does too. We have a very big faith that we get what we ask for, and by saying, the unexpected income that I am receiving. Now, as I said early on in this interview, was I come not only from the law of attraction. I see the law of attraction and The Secret as a validation for more ancient teachings that are kind of universal truths. And so I come at it from a very ancient teaching sort of way, because there's other reasons why I go that route too. But
it's a better way.
To me, it is, and it's a clear,
way better way.
It's a clearer way.
That's clear, perfect, because it's not clouded by technology. It's not clouded by vehicles.
Right. And you think about this, there's a book of the Bible that I really like called the Book of John. Thank you very much. Anyway, it starts with, in the beginning is the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Right. And when they interpret it, they think the Word is Jesus. But I want law of attraction people to think of it this way. Your word with intention goes out into this illusion, this image of God, because we are in God's image, because everything you see is pure energy, according to Einstein. And it gets formed in that image around us. So in the beginning is the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So we're surrounded by the image of our belief at all times. And what the law of attraction, in my opinion, does is gets us out of attracting subconsciously and gets us attracting consciously. And so we come to that space of I am the creator of my experience, which is exactly what Jesus said, which is what Buddha said, which Krishna said. They all said the same stuff. But but the big leap is, it's like when Jesus said, I am the Son of God, but then he said, you are the children of God. It's the same thing. The only difference is one of them stepped into the role of creator. And it's the same thing here in law of attraction. You've got to step into the role of the conscious creator, of your experience. And once you do that, then miraculous things happen.
I call it proactive manifesting.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when you're
yeah.
walking down the highway or driving or using the bathroom and you're just letting your thoughts go to wherever the heck they want to go. That's one thing. But when you wake up, that's when you're proactively manifesting. You're watering seeds. Think of every thought like a drop of water going into different flower pots, like things I like about my job, things I don't like about my job, my house, my spouse, my kids, that last Facebook post, and you're just watering these seeds all day. And majority wins. The seeds that get the most nourishment are the ones that are going to be staring you in the face. And, you know, some uglier than the other ones, some leaving you wondering, how did this get here? But if you understand the whole seeds and the watering and like the Amazon and the package, I love the Amazon thing. That's the reason why I gravitated towards the Amazon analogy, was because once you order it, like you said, there's nothing you can do to rush it. You can't call the post office unless you know you're the only way you can get it there faster is if, well, there's two ways. One, if you know your mailman and you're like, yo, swing by my house early, which I've tried to get that before. Didn't work.
And here's a law of attraction thing for you. Do you know why it didn't work?
Because I feel it won't work.
Because you tried. And when when you ask for try, you get try.
That try word. It came up yesterday and it came up the day before in the summit. So I think it needs I didn't think I used it that much, but it's come up twice so far. Yeah. So I think I need to look into that.
To get out of the bed when the doctor told me I wouldn't walk in, words I had to remove were wanting, needing, hoping, trying, and wishing. Took them all out because none of them are present moment active. And everything about the law of attraction, everything about manifestation is present moment, because the past is just a collection of present moment memories, and the future is just a place where you set goals for your next present moment. But everything is present moment.
Since you said that, I'm going to leave you with this.
Oh, cool.
Since the beginning of my journey, now you just sparked something. Since the beginning of my journey, I created something called poison words. Words like you just said, can, will, hope. And I make sure I don't use those words, because I can only produces a future where saying I can again, which means you haven't done it yet. Right. Same with I will and I hope. Now, hope is good to have. I don't want to discourage people from using the word completely. Hope is good to have. Just don't say it in the I hope this is going to happen by next year type format.
Because that actually says that you don't believe it's happening.
Exactly. However, last summer, I brought back the word can.
Okay.
And it's okay to use when you're talking about your capability. I can run a multi-million-dollar corporation.
Right.
I know that I can. And when I say that, the ego doesn't come and kick me in my back and say, no, you can't. You never done that before. It kind of sits back and lets my subconscious and I, just enjoy that. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. I can do this. So I brought can back.
All right. I actually use all the words I said. The reason I use all the words I said is because I think that before I begin a manifestation, there's a planning phase. What it is I want? Do I really need that? So I use the words, but I use them not in my manifestations.
I skipped the planning phase.
Yeah.
I when I wanted my pilot's license, I just got in my recliner or any of the airplanes. I like to fly a lot. I have a lot of RC airplanes. I would just get in my recliner and just picture myself flying it. And that anything else is middleman for me. And I'm always at least slightly wrong. So I'm just like, I'm tired of guessing. I'm so tired of guessing. Just put me in there. I already got it. I feel great. It's happening right now. I don't have to wait for it to get here like the package from Amazon. It's already being enjoyed. And I kind of just try to sit in that headspace. You said something earlier. It's very similar to what I say. I'm so happy and thankful that I ... I saw The Secret March 10th, 2008. And I immediately, from whatever YouTube videos I saw that day, I was like, I have to incorporate meditation in my life. I have to. Everyone's talking about it. It's like this foundational thing that's going to help whatever I'm trying to do with my thoughts tremendously. And so I was trying to meditate. And I remember for 16 days, it was torture. I remember I'm a cop in the most dangerous city in America. I'm, chasing people down dark alleyways, shootings every night, all kind of crazy stuff is going on. And plus you got home life. So my mind was just going crazy. And when you're trying to sit back and stop your mind for the first time in 28 years. It's like shooting a BB gun at a freight train, basically. And I remember on day 16, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna law of attraction my way through this. I'm just gonna, and that's when I took it from the movie The Secret. I'm so happy and thankful that I'm good at meditating. I'm so happy and thankful that I enjoy meditating. That day and every day since, meditating has been one of my favorite activities to do. And so that's one of my cheat codes for everything. Whatever it is you want, whatever your goal is in life, just sit in how it would feel had you completed that goal yesterday or an hour ago, not 2 seconds ago, because you might get all excited and the ego kicks in and says, that's not what you're really doing right now. So there's different techniques on how you deal with the ego. But whatever goal you have, just ask yourself, how would it feel to have already gotten that? And whatever small phrase or sentence comes out of that, use that as your affirmation that you say 10 times on your lunch break. Every time you stand up from your chair, you think of something, and these are all different mental exercises. I'm going to plug on your show real quick.
Go for it.
I have a subscription that you can sign up for at neopositivity.com. And I send out a newsletter 5 days a week. And each newsletter has a different mental exercise in it that I've picked up along the way. Like there's a LeBron James exercise. There's a Dolly Parton exercise. Like I pull from all the greats, the things that they do. And so there's 43 different exercises. So you won't get the first one within 2 months. Cause like I said, I just send them out 5 days a week. And so when you circle back to that first one, you're like, oh man, I love this one. So it's been a while since I saw it. And you're like, I got to make sure I add it to my bat belt, but they're all good. But you got to realize, especially rookies in the game, any mental exercise you do, let's say, I call it the I deserve, where you just walk around, you say, I deserve this, I deserve that, I deserve that house, I deserve that car, I deserve to be happy, I deserve to be healthy. Whatever it is for the whole day, you're saying, I deserve. That exercise and any other exercise you attempt is going to get old, and you're probably not even going to do it at all day 2, if not once or twice. If you do day 2, day 3, you're not going to do it. And that's just as humans, we get used to things. That house you car was the bomb. That house you got was a bomb when you first got it. Now it's just a house. And the same goes for your car. So that's why I like to switch up the mental exercises to keep people involved. So make sure you guys head over there and subscribe for that. And they're all really good.
So is that the best way for people to get a hold of you as well?
Neopositivity.com has everything. It has a landing page for the summit and all the social media. Yes, that would be the all inclusive way to access everything I got going on.
Well, that's perfect. Actually, we've gone a little longer than we normally do because it's been such a great episode.
Yeah, so good.
Totally appreciate the conversation.
I would like for you guys to come speak at my summit. I didn't know, like I said, somebody's getting fired. I didn't know
well, check us out on our websites first, tamarazoner.com and John of New, JOHNOFNEW.com. And if you go to, we also both have YouTube channels under the same name. So check those out. And on my channel, I've got about 250 videos on there that talks about everything from religious spirituality on up to law of attraction and everything else. So,
nice.
I have a collection of that many on the same topics. Not nearly as ambitious as John.
Yeah. I'm one of those guys who just get stuff done,
I try to go live at least 3 times a week. The summit has a Facebook group, and I kind of turned that into before it was just a place to get information on the summit. Then I was like, I want people to be able to get their daily dose of positivity there. When I go to Facebook, I find it hard to find something positive, especially scrolling down. So to have that place and be able to bookmark it is a beautiful thing. So that's what I like to do with the group. Yeah, I forgot why I was saying that, but definitely live. Yeah, I like to go live at least 3 times a week. So I definitely want to go live with you guys and have you guys in the summit and spread some of the information. Because when I hear people speak, and this goes way back, when I hear people speak, I immediately try to find the value in their words that could help all the people around me, and some people, you get that immediately. You're like, this person, my fans need their ears. My loved ones need their ears. They, need their voice, I should say. And I definitely got that from you guys. So thank you for being, I always say that, thank you for being who you are. I call you guys soldiers. We are soldiers in the war on negativity. I hate to call it that, but that's what I call it. So thank you for
Right.
taking time out of your day to get mental, get up here, see what's going on, and make your lives better. And I know it's trickled out to your family members and then to their friends in that ripple effect. So definitely appreciate you guys for everything that you do.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tamara, you want to take us out of here?
I do. Thank you so much, Neo Positivity. Thank you, John Davis. As always, listen to these messages and let them soak into your heart, because this is how we create lives that we love, lives that feel good. First, we have to know we're worthy and deserving of them, and then we take action to create them. So you can do it. You've got great examples on our show every week. So come back again next time. We'll see you later.
Thank you for joining us at Spirit Cafe, a place where you can safely explore your spirituality without the guilt or dogma of religion. Leave all comments and suggestions on the Spirit Cafe podcast Facebook page.